going to pause again. So perhaps you can take your hand down and put it up again when you've read that screen, please. Okay, thanks, Debbie. Now, I'm a little bit of devil's advocate, but not that much. Remember, my background, you might know me through funding, but my background is through the education application of new technologies, and I've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years now. It's a long time, so there's not much that's new yet. And let's have a look at what they're saying. So they're saying use new technologies to be more efficient and have greater impact. I agree with that. Yes, there are efficiency gains by using email instead of letters and a whole range of other things. But impact is also what matters. So there's two ends of the spectrum there. Para 2, donors are, this is from a proper report, remember, donors are less interested in conventional communication. That's an important statement. I agree with it, because I've put myself in that. I'm also a donor, potentially. I might leave whatever money I leave to a charity. I don't have children, so I've got a good idea of what that's going to be. I'm not interested in receiving stuff through the post. Actually, when I deal with all sorts of organisations, I try very much. I don't write letters, and I'm not letting them waste my time. I value my time very highly. You'll find the new generation, okay, I'm not 20 anymore, but I've got a young attitude towards technology because I think it's empowering and interesting. And when I look at, shall we say, dumb, passive websites, and if they represent the organisation and they represent a dumb, passive website, that means to me I don't want to work with that organisation. So you can do yourself damage in terms of how you use technology badly. It's got to be engaging on the communication. It's not about the content and passive content and sticking stuff on a website and then thinking suddenly everything changes, because it doesn't. It's about communicating with human beings, if more effectively in more interesting ways. Pleading how worthy is the cause. So here you've got people saying, we want modern communication, please. Bring to life. Well, that's why we've been doing video case studies for the project, and we could do a session. I could do a session that would show you how to use video case studies in the promotion of your charity, not-for-profit organisation, community centre, to engage more people. That's another aspect of the use of new media. When you're, this is only an introduction, so it's fairly brief. But whenever I've looked at any technology, not just media, Web2 and new media, social media, I always use this organizer. It's not about just using it because everyone else is using it. It's not about having a Twitter account because everybody else wants to talk to Stephen Fry and whoever, or feel that they're connected in some way. And it's not about having a Facebook account to say I've got 2 million friends and you've only got 1 million, therefore I'm a better person. There's some really significant uses of these technologies to help you with your business organizational objectives. And this is every time you think, well, can I use it? Then you can go through, can it replace, reinforce, extend or enhance my current business processes? That pretty much covers every aspect of a process, every part of an organization or an individual or a family, whatever unit you want to analyze on it. Does it replace? Well, that's fairly straightforward. Does email replace letters? No, not totally. But in business terms, I can't remember the last time I wrote a letter. Does a distribution list replace the need for a personal email? No, it doesn't. But it does mean I can communicate with lots of people more quickly and personalize them using a distribution list software. Quite often, the clicks and mortar argument that having an online shop doesn't mean you don't have to have a normal shop, or having a normal shop doesn't mean you can't sell online. That's called clicks and mortar, a play on bricks and mortar. If you have an online presence, it's quite likely more people will visit your location. Not ironically, if you really think about it, that's how it's about communication, about putting things in front of people. What's the difference between extend and enhance? Extend means I'm currently doing X, and I can extend that to do it either in a neighbouring area, or with a different target group, or through a different centre. But it's basically doing something you already do elsewhere or further. Enhance means you might add video into what you currently do, or audio, or you'll enhance the current services and offers and products that you add quality within what you already do. You enhance them by interesting innovations. So those four are a really, really useful way of organising your thoughts about, does this technology replace, reinforce, extend or enhance what I currently do? That's worth remembering when you write a bid, by the way, if you're trying to get some money to use Web2 in your current business, organisation. Structuring that way will communicate much more effectively with a potential funder. This is all about why bother. Well, obviously there's efficiency gains. Effectiveness obviously is different for efficiency. It's about how effective you are at reaching the audiences and doing the objectives you think you're doing. Obviously, in most, not all, but in most organisations, going into Web2 can extend the reach. You can attract and engage new clients, maybe build new relationships. That quite often happens with intermediaries. There's an overlap, so you can work more effectively on an online project with a partner than you can an offline one, I would argue. You might extend your reach to increase more volunteers, or maybe you have a set of groups that are online volunteers because they can't get out because of mobility issues. They're a carer, or they're disabled, or they've had a chaotic or traumatic experience and they don't go out for whatever reason. That doesn't mean you can't have online volunteers who don't have to come to the centre. They can help in all sorts of ways. They could run your email distribution lists, they could do the blogs for you, they can do all sorts of things and would be very useful volunteers. And obviously, if you target your marketing online, certain sponsors are much more interested in online sponsorship than they are offline. And lastly, obviously, by adding in new tools, in new ways of engaging with people, you can add value to your services because they're personalised, they arrive customised to the person's interests, which is why Google has become they will become billionaires, haven't they? Basically, they're just personalising stuff.